And one of the things I love so much about this documentary and reliving all these moments is we remember them as singular moments, but we forget the context. And one of those moments is the shot when, game's on the line, game 6, championships on the line, and he pushes off Bryon Russell. Now, what this documentary does such a good job of showing us is the layup in the possession that preceded that, and then the defensive steal outsmarting Stockton and Malone in the defensive possession right before that, and then the shot itself. Like, I love that so much, but I also love the fact that to this day, Michael Jordan will not admit that with his left hand on the right butt cheek of Bryon Russell, he ushered him along down the lane. What do you think about that particular push-off?
I think that his momentum was absolutely going that way. I don't think that he took him and pushed Bryon Russell across the lane. I think that he knew, he said in episode 9, he plays on the balls of his feet, and he knows how Bryon plays defense. And he knows that if he jukes him, then he's going to go that way. I agree with Bob Costas when he says that it was like a maitre d' showing someone to their table. If you look at that low angle,
nice
video, it was not filmed. If it's the low angle shot, the slow-mo shot, his hand is clearly on Bryon's body, but I don't think there's any pressure being exerted to push him off. Regardless, I want to go back to what you said, because I think that's the most incredible 42 seconds in the history of the NBA. And I think that what doesn't get enough credit, it reminded me of that high off the glass layup that he had against Georgetown in 82, which I think also doesn't get enough credit in the waning seconds of the game, which we showed in episode 1. That layup when they were down by 3 to bring it to within 1 was not a gimme. And
not at all.
Everyone knew where the ball was going and what was going to happen when the ball got there. Everybody knew that ball was going to Michael, and he was going to, if he got it in the right wing, he's either going to pull up and shoot or he's going to drive to the hoop. So 2 dribbles in, he's driving to the hoop, and he had to go over like 2.5 guys high off the glass. If he misses that shot, we're in game 7, and if we're in game 7, I don't think the Bulls win the title. I think they were out of gas, and I think he knew that at that moment too. So this is it. So you want to talk about clutch genes and clutch performance. From the time that ball was inbounded when they're down by 3, no other Bulls touched the ball for the rest of the game. No other Bull touched the basketball for the rest of the game, and they won the title. So to me, it was the perfect bookend that in 1984-85, he comes into the league as a rookie, and he's got no other help on that team, and he has to win these games by himself. And then he had to learn how to play with his teammates. And they won title after title once he learned how to play within a system but still be the star. He gets all the way to the end of his Bulls career, and what's happening? He's by himself again, and he has to win the game by himself again. So it's the perfect bookend. I mean, it's if you wrote this in a script, you get laughed out of every Hollywood office. But it happened.
So, Jason, you did something in this doc that may get copied. That's the watch the iPad for effect thing.
Yep.
Where we got Michael Jordan laughing and so many iconic memes. Do you feel like this is about to be the new wave?
It's certainly a technique, maybe not with an iPad, but it's a technique that others have used before and I've used before is people watching something and getting their reaction to it. The iPad, with the advent of technology, the iPad Pro, shout out to Apple. Feel free if you need my address. That was, nice and big, and people could see that clearly. Because if you notice that the first time I showed anything to anybody was Dennis Rodman with my phone, was Michael speaking about the vacation. And that was just an effort to get Dennis to focus and lock in on something because it was hanging off the walls. So I was like, no, look at this. Here's Michael Jordan talking about you. I need your full attention.
I know the feeling.
Between Jacoby and his kids and me, he does know the feeling.
Yeah, he's babysitting at work and afterwards. So that's where that came from, and we always wanted to use it with Michael, but we wanted to have it just look a little bit more professional and not have him like squinting at my tiny little phone. If people do use that, of course, it would be. What do they say? Imitation is the highest form of flattery. So
absolutely,
sure. But I know that I don't know if it would be necessary with someone who is not as high profile or iconized as Michael. But the impetus for that was that Michael's been asked every single question, every which way. So how can we make this different for him, and how can he stay stimulated and engaged? And it was basically just kind of a toy for him to play with, and a way to bring people into the room without bringing them into the room. So of course you want his mom to be there and see how he acts with his mom. We're bringing the iPad. Same thing goes with Isaiah and with Reggie and with Gary Payton and with Jerry Reinsdorf. Let's get his reaction in real time. So it was really effective for us.
So, Jason, as we sort of come to a close of this documentary and this particular discussion,
we need more episodes. We need more episodes. ESPN, Connor Shell, Libby Geist, write a check. We need more episodes. We need 11 through 20. Jason, there's so many more things we can cover with Michael Jordan. You got him on text. I know you do. You got Polk on text. I've seen David Falk talking about the doc. I've seen so many people affiliated with MJ. You have more footage. You have more access. Will we get more from
No one has spoken
Michael
to me
Jordan?
about it. You gotta ask the good folks at
we're talking to you about it right now. This is an official request from 2 Disney employees to at least create one bonus episode of The Last Dance.
There's plenty of, if we want to do that, there's plenty of material to do so.
All right, you heard it here first. You heard it here first. He said we got it. He said we got it in the can. We got it in the can. He said we got it in the can. So that wasn't an official request, but now we're going to make sure that happens.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.